Welcome back to B3mtb podcast, where we talk about bikes, bruises, and beverages. Your host, Tally Hall.
And John Earle. Just your average dudes talking about their mountain bike adventures.
We're back. Oh, my goodness.
Back. Yeah, did you hear that little blank, dude? I forgot, what we're doing.
I forgot. I'm like, how do we turn this thing on?
So long.
It has been a long time. Let's see, I went out of country for a little while. Came back thinking, we'll jump right back into it, and then
work schedules are getting in the way, and just life, dude. Just straight life. Everyone has that problem, though, so forgive us.
Yeah, forgive us. I will say I think we're back better than ever.
Better than ever?
Better than ever.
I don't know. I feel a little...
Less better?
Better.
But, I mean, I'm talking about our apparel right now.
Our apparel feels great.
Yes, and it's mostly how you look.
If you're watching on the YouTube, you notice there's a lot of skin showing on our legs.
Lots of legs.
Lots of legs. But we decided. So we talked about a while back about we're gonna get our outfit in order for our rides, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you sent me a link the other day. You're like, well, I bought it.
And you at first were not happy about it.
No. Mainly, and I expressed this before. I wasn't happy because we were talking about jean shorts, right? Jorts. And I'm like, dude, we can make those for like $10. You just go buy a pair of jeans and you cut them off. And you weren't about that.
No, because I knew. So we ended up buying Born Primitive. Their jorts are they're designed for working out. So they're workout jean shorts.
Bro,
it's a lot of leg.
But I will tell you, they are so comfortable.
They are so nice.
I took them out of the package, and my wife was like, "You're not wearing those." And I went and put them on. And I came back. I said, "I'm wearing them all the time. Fucking excuse my language. I love these shorts.
They're so great." Yeah, same. And then so it takes me. I've never owned a pair of jean shorts that I can remember. I've definitely never bought any.
Yeah.
Maybe when I in the 80s when I was 4 years old,
And a cool
I probably had some
photo
jean
shoot
shorts.
picture, yeah.
Yeah. So here I am wearing jean shorts, which to me is it's a bit of a hurdle. And now we're here at Adrenaline again, and we're walking in with matching jean shorts.
You got out of the truck and you said, I'm kind of embarrassed that I'm wearing these. And I said, no, dude, I love them. You go, no, I love them too. I just don't like that we're wearing the same pair.
I mean, I like that we're wearing the same pair, but if you see two dudes walking around with matching jean shorts. Yeah, so I'm going to have to get used to that. I'm excited to ride in them.
Yeah, me too.
They're great.
I'm going to need to buy more pair for sure.
Yeah. Born Primitive. If you want a pair of jean shorts, I think that's the way to go.
Check them out. Invest in your health, dude. Put these on and start working out. All right, so let's get a little more manly here. What beer are you drinking?
I'm starting off with the Three Daughters Brewing Florida Orange IPA, which, I mean...
Is it delicious?
It is really good.
I was going to get it.
It's really good, and I've had this before.
You cheated?
I cheated. When I was here on Sunday, I had it then, and it was good, and I was like, I'm definitely getting that again.
Why were you here on Sunday?
I was dropping off Erica's.
Ooh, we'll get into it. We'll get into it.
Yeah, not new. Okay, so Three Daughters Brewing. Does it say where it's from? Dang it, I don't know. It's obviously we're gonna call it local, but here it is. It says juicy Florida oranges swim with citrusy, aromatic hops in this Florida-inspired IPA. Crisp hoppiness up front cascades into juicy, sweet finish. Into a juicy, sweet finish, putting the Sunshine State front and center in every sip. The best of Florida, 12 ounces at a time.
So it just gives Florida, doesn't give a specific location? Did I miss it?
No, I didn't give a specific location.
All right, well, good job staying local. I did not. I got the Allagash White to start with. It is a Belgian beer, a wheat beer. It's really
Like
good.
actually brewed in Belgium?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's really good. I say yes, and I said it confidently, but I'm not 100% sure.
And I know it's a Belgian style beer.
No, but I think it is because it in this little blurb I'm reading, it is written in another language. So it features a refreshing balance of citrus and spice, wheat, coriander, and orange peel round out the flavor of the pale, straw-colored hazy beer.
All right.
And if you look at it, it is a hazy beer. It is very.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to go down, and it didn't.
That is the haziest of hazies.
Yeah, it is white. Look at that. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild. Real quick, Three Daughters Brewing is out of St. Pete.
Okay.
Yeah, it's local. And you got the blurb. We're both, for our second one, we're drinking Veterans Pride, an American Pale Ale.
Yeah, I saw you pull that one out of the cooler, and I was going to get your Florida Orange as my second, but I saw the can, and I was like, oh, I have to get this one.
Yeah.
It is brewed by veterans, and I do have the blurb here. It was kind of hard to find, and we're unsure. I'm still not sure if it's Sanford or Claremont. The can say Claremont.
So I think Sun Creek Brewery is out of Claremont, and it's brewed by them, but the Wops Hops Brewing Company is out of Sanford. And that is kind of a guess. But I think that's right.
Yeah, that's weird. Why would they have two breweries on there?
I don't know. But as you're looking up the blurb, the can is originally, I was like, there's a beer with a picture of a bald eagle.
Yeah.
Like I almost don't care what's inside. I should drink that. And then kind of an American flag themed background.
Yeah, no, I saw the can. I was like, yes,
Yeah,
sir.
we have to.
So it is a Florida American Pale Ale. It's a 5.6. Let's see here. It's brewed with American malted grains, which I don't know if that means anything special.
I'm sure it does to somebody.
I mean, it said it throws in American malted grains.
So I like it.
And hops are perfectly balanced, crisp, and very drinkable pale ale. And then again on here it just gives hops brewing in Florida. So sorry, but that was kind of a hard one to find.
Here we are. Real quick, we're not doing any singing. We're here at Adrenaline. Today's Wednesday, right?
Yes.
So if you're into disc golf, they have a disc golf hangout session after the store closes. So we're here. And someone asked us if we were going to, they thought we were a live band. Two dudes in jean shorts singing.
The guy made my nerd. He was definitely under the influence of something. Not liquor. But yeah, these guys are carrying in crock pots and
Dude.
They're here for the long haul.
Yeah.
So
I respect it.
It might get a little loud. It might get a little crazy. If you're watching the YouTube, who knows what's going to show up in the background, but
We don't control the background.
we don't control the back. We don't control anything. We were lucky we got this table.
All right, let's dive in. I personally have not done a lot of riding on trails, but because of that, when I came back, like I did like some neighborhood sessions, jumping off of curbs and stuff, but I haven't really gotten any trails.
You're one of those guys where people call the cops like, "This guy's jumping on my lawn."
Yes, I did that.
Did that multiple times.
But I don't think anyone called the cops. But I'm jealous of you.
I have been riding quite frequently, but only at Mount Dora. I haven't taken any trips out. My schedule's been kind of tight. So, but I am ripping the new e-bike.
Oh my gosh.
So let's just spend an episode talking about new bikes. Because you also have a new bike in your family.
In the family, yeah.
Not yours, but the one who controls your family got a new bike. So,
And listen, that's important.
she deserved it.
She deserved it.
Yeah, dude, my bike. So I have so much to say. I don't even know where to begin, but I'll start off with saying,
Well, Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
How about this? Last time that we talked about it, you got the bike, and it was it the brake rotor?
Right.
Like, so walk us through that process, how it got sorted out, and like what were those steps like? And then how long after that did you get your first rides in?
So, okay. People might think I'm stupid for this, but the front rotor was severely bent and the frame is chipped. This is my first experience with bikes online, and I did it because I wanted to save a little bit of money. I wanted to try it out, and also it was hard to find the bike, right? So I just sent it, and so the bike comes in, bent rotor, frame is chipped. I call them up. This is what's the problem. They're like, hey, you need to send an ass ton of videos. Take videos of the rotor being bent. Take videos of the bike. Take befores, afters. Take pictures of them. I sent so many photos. Already a pain in my butt, right? For them to come back and say, we will give you $100. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It was $60 for the frame being chipped.
Okay.
And we don't have any rotors, so take it to a bike shop and get an itemized receipt of them fixing it. And I'm like, first off, $60 for a $7,000 bike frame being chipped? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And then I got to take it to a bike shop and get a new rotor. A new rotor is like, what, maybe $50? Depends.
Yeah, I think Erica got a new rotor. I think it was like 53 or something like that.
So I'm like, I'm going through all this hassle for them to give me $60 plus whatever the rotor is. Here's the catch. Store credit. I'm like, I'm not buying.
Store credit?
I'm like, first off, you don't have anything on bikes online for less than $100, one. And I'm not buying anything from you guys again because you've already messed me up and I've had to go through this process. Like,
oh, I didn't know it was store credit.
Yeah, store credit.
No, done.
So
done with you.
That's exactly. I stopped responding to the emails. They kept reaching out. Hey, how do you want to solve this? I'm like, I don't even care, dude. Don't even worry about it. I took it up to the bike shop. The guys straightened me out for free. I mean, they straightened out the rotor. They're like the bike. They talked me down from the bike frame because I was generally upset about it, as I think anyone would be.
I think you should be. Yeah, you spend that much.
And the guys here, they're like, dude, they just talked me down. They're like, it's a bike frame. It's gonna get it's gonna get bent, scratched.
You are
chipped.
gonna mess that bike up.
I'm gonna mess it up.
Yeah.
They're like, we can help you do automotive paint and kind of smooth it out. I'm like, but so that's where I'm at with the bike. They fixed the rotor for me. They got it as much as they can without having me buy a new one, right?
Yeah.
They didn't charge me for it, and
that's awesome.
They talked me off the ledge. So that's how I handled that situation. Needless, I don't think I would be purchasing from bikes online again. This is my only experience. I'm not going to talk bad about them because, maybe it doesn't happen all the time. I'm sure
we're just not going to give a glowing review.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. And that's where I'm at. So I love the bike. Like, when I tell you, like, it gives me so much confidence, and it's so balanced, and it feels so good, and everything is like, it's just quiet. Like, everything is just in place and nice and tight.
So, what's the weight difference? It's heavy because you're talking about like
it's 50.
You're talking about balance and like you're talking about like, oh, you're making it sound like you're just throwing this thing around, but isn't it like a cumbersome bike?
Yes, it's 54 pounds, which, to my understanding, is like just an average size mountain e-bike. It's not super heavy. There's heavier, but there's also lighter, right? But yeah, dude, I mean, I've only taken it to Mount Dora, and I've thrown it on those jumps, like the left side jumps that I've always kind of been a little hesitant on the old bike, and it just handles them so good. Like, there's no hesitation now, and it
awesome.
Flies good.
So it's a heavier bike, but it, like, the way you talk about it, you've never once said, oh, it's a little bit heavier. Like, you've always, every time you've talked about your bike, and because we were hanging out earlier today, you made it sound like it's not an issue.
No, and it's surprisingly agile, which is so dumbfounding to me. I don't know how. and it is a mullet, which doesn't make it any lighter, obviously, right? But when you're riding the bike around trails, you can. I mean, again, I'm an average rider. I'm not overly good at anything, but you can, for lack of a better term, flick the bike around corners and push that back end out, and it just seems so playful. If that makes sense, I don't know. If it does.
So like, I wasn't. What I was expecting is for you to say, "It's awesome because I get to do more laps, more miles." It's a little heavier, but it doesn't really hold me back. I'm still having fun. But when you're talking about the bike, you're like, I'm just whipping the thing around. And Mount Dora, it's not the best trail in Florida, but Gravity Destroyer, Helter Skelter, like those are all trails that those can be pretty fast and intense trails.
Yeah. So, I mean, Helter is so fun now. It used to be kind of cumbersome, and obviously the motor helps out, right? And it helps take away those. The one thing about Helter is, you know how you have those uphill kind of switchbacks on rocks. It's very technical.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say is, like, I downsized from an extra large to a large. Those turns are hard on that bike. And I think the bike is just, it still feels big. And I think it's because the head tube angle is very slack. It's for a bike with 160.
Yeah.
It's kind of, and it's still considered a trail bike because the rear is only 150. But it still feels it's long. And the head tube angle is 63, so it pushes that front tire out a little bit. So those turns are a little harder. You have to be a little more technical with it. But then the motor obviously helps you pull everything through, right?
What's that like? Like going up the hill? Are you just like, oh, this is going to be hard, and then you just pedal and it just like zooms you up the hill?
Yeah, so two different things about that is, in sticking with the technical features, like I haven't done it yet, but I have to download the app for the motor, because you can tune down how the motor works, basically. Right now, and from what I've read, Marin keeps the tune pretty high, so it puts a lot of power down throughout the eco, trail, and boost mode. And what I've found is, in like a technical area, especially like one of those 180 switchback uphills, is like if I only need to crank a little bit, if I'm in trail mode and I just put a little bit of power down, the bike wants to move really far. Like the motor kicks in and wants to push it. So I think I want to try and pull that back a little bit, or move the eco setting up a little bit, because I really only ride an eco and trail.
So find something in between the eco and trail that you would just never leave that setting.
Basically.
Have you gotten in trouble, like gotten into like you were trying to pedal normal, and because it has like an engine?
Yes.
You found yourself off the trail or into a tree or?
Yeah, so I've had a couple crashes on it, but I won't get to that yet, because that's a learning thing. But in those technical climbs, if you're on a steep angle going up, if you put too much power down and the bike wants to take off, it literally will shoot out from under you.
You're doing wheelies uphill.
Yes, and it'll shoot, and you'll have to bail off the bike and hold on, do the whole hold on to the handlebar thing and like stop your bike from going. I've had that happen a couple times, so it's like I'm really trying to get it in the right spot. You still have to pick a good line, and because if that bike moves too far, then it's gonna mess you up, right?
How bad do you want to go to P1 and P2 in Mulberry Gap and just go go crush it, dude? I don't know, we're not going, but now it's almost like, dude.
I will say I've been riding, like Mount Dora used to kill me, crush me, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of ups.
If you can ride, I used to be like, and I don't know, some people may disagree, but like 5-6 miles in Mount Dora, just like constant riding, just pushing it, going, used to like really destroy me. Now I'm riding like I'm doubling that, in almost the same time, a little more time, and it feels great. I'm having fun. I still feel like I'm getting a workout.
How do you track that? Are you using a Garmin on the bike or are you using your watch?
I use the Strava
On your phone?
on my phone. I haven't really gone into, and I don't know. I'm a guy with a new bike, and I haven't really gone into like the whole electrical system and the thing. I think it tracks all that. I just don't know very much about it.
Like the bike itself will track?
I don't know. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. But
I don't know.
One learning curve I'm trying to get used to is the speed. I mean, it's so easy to go fast. And so I've fallen twice on it. Not crazy falls. But I had a dude riding up on me on a trail. I was just going...
Thank you for clarifying. Go ahead.
I was going super chill. And I'll continue with my story. You non-e-biker. I was going super chill, and this dude was just coming. I heard his hub. I'm like, this guy is not passing me, right?
He better not.
No, so I started crushing it and pushing myself through this trail as pretty much as fast as I could go safely from what I thought, right? And I had to get between these two little trees, and I've ridden it a bunch of times, right? I've never crashed here. So I took it a little wide, hard left, 180 after the trees, and I must have been cruising because that front tire pushed out from under me as I made that sharp left in between the two trees, and my tire hit the tree, the bike went down, I went down, I caught myself, and hurt my shoulder a little bit, but whatever. And the guy, I picked my bike up and got out of the way, and the guy comes by, he's like, "You good?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'm good."
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm not going to let this satisfy you. Oh, man. But
did you keep it in the mode you're on, or did you, when you heard someone coming, did you switch it to like boost and just get out of
so
there?
I've never actually ridden the trail on boost yet, but because you don't need it. But yeah, no, I did. So I was cruising just in eco mode. Like I was just nice, steady pace, nothing fast. And then when I heard him coming, I hit trail. I was like, I'm out of here, dude.
How do you change that?
It's a little switch, a little lever on the left hand handlebar.
Really?
So,
So
like,
it's in the cockpit.
Yeah, in between the grip and where your dropper seat post is.
Nice.
So yeah, there was that crash. That was my first crash. And then I was like, so I was done that day. My shoulder kind of hurt. The week later, I'm like, I come back. I know we haven't gotten any rain still, so it's still super sandy. There's leaves everywhere. So I'm like, I'm going to be chill. And I hate Gravity Destroyer. And
You hit or hate?
hit.
Oh, I was
I
gonna
hit.
say. Love that trail.
And I get to the drop portion, and I'm like, I really want to send it because you can send that drop and go over all that wood on the bottom
Yeah.
and kind of land back onto the trail. You have to be moving pretty fast, but I'm on an e-bike. I can move fast, right?
Yeah.
I move super fast. Well, again, I get through those trees, and I'm making that wide right-hand turn so I can keep my speed up. And the leaves and the sand are kind of moving out from under. I can feel them, and my bike's kind of like drifting a little bit to the left. I get up on the ramp. I'm on the very left side of it. I'm like, this is not good. I'm going really fast. I'm on the left-hand side. I'm either going to make it off the end and like land on the left side and hit all those trees over there, or I can find a spot to bail out. And I found a spot to bail out and end up clipping a tree with my left fist. I punched it, which saved my handlebars, but got my knuckles.
Worth it.
Yeah. And then took my shoulder. So I was like, God. At that moment, I realized, like, I'm being a little reckless on this bike, which brought me to, like, the point of, like, I feel like I'm talking a lot, but
I like it.
which brought me to the point of e-bike is so fun, but I don't think it's good for a beginner rider. I think it
Interesting.
I think it hinders a beginner rider, and it can advance a rider who already has basic fundamentals.
What do you mean by hinders a basic, like a new rider? It hinders
So
them.
so when you first start mountain biking, you get used to your cranks and where to keep your pedals and picking lines to keep speed and make your biking most efficient, right? With an e-bike, that shit don't matter. Dude, you can take any line you want. You can
exciting.
You can come into a corner and pick the completely wrong line, hit your brakes, slow down, come out of that corner, speed back up. So I found like it's hard to be mentally focused, pick the good lines so you can actually be efficient on your bike.
Have you gotten lazy with your line choice now?
And that's what I'm trying to get at is like it's very easy to. I'm trying not to, but it's very easy to because you pick a bad line, you slow down a whole bunch, and you hit a little rough terrain that maybe you weren't expecting, so you like really slow down so you can not kill yourself. And then after that terrain's done, you just pedal back up to 20 miles an hour, and you're there.
Goodness,
you know what I mean?
Gracious. Sounds like an awesome place, man.
It's so fun. So I was thinking like all these light e-bikes that I've been seeing come out, like everyone's starting to come out with light e-bikes now. I almost feel like that may be a good choice, but I'm glad I got the full power. So, and then from my understanding is those bikes, obviously they have a smaller battery and they use, their torque is less Newton meter, so it doesn't help you out as much. But
so talking about battery, how many miles have you ridden or how long have you ridden and how much battery did that eat?
So I've done on this battery charger now, I've done 3 rides at Mount Dora. Like 15-ish miles, 12 to 15 miles each. And I have 2 bars left out of 5.
You said 12 to 15 miles each ride?
Yeah. So I have 2 bars left out of 5. I believe it's 5. I don't know, obviously, how far I'm into that second to last bar. So I don't know if I want to drive it to the end.
Yeah.
Because that'd be kind of shitty to be stuck out there.
Dude, it'd be terrible. That awesome bike would turn into misery. But just that alone, 12 to 15 miles each ride at Dora, bro, that would have been an insane day.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's fun. You can do the whole thing 3 times without even like you're working, obviously, but it's fun. You
That's
know what
awesome.
I mean? And so I kind of, I'm sure the battery would go down more if I was in more trail mode or more eco mode. Boost. I try to keep it in eco mode as much as I can.
Yeah.
And then I only hit trail mode like if I'm going up one of the climbs or something like that.
The problem is I keep imagining us riding together in Georgia or the Carolinas. And it's frustrating me because in my mind, I'm climbing up a long hill and I'm generally unhappy. And you're going down, like, laughing at me.
I climbed up and went down.
You climbed up and went down. I'm not ready to buy an e-bike yet. But
yes, you are.
yeah.
That was your conscience in the background. That was your little angel or devil on your shoulder going,
Probably both.
do it.
Probably both.
Just do it.
No, so
A little Shia LaBeouf on your shoulder. Just do it.
it would be a lot of fun. Gosh.
Double e-bikes with matching shorts and jerseys.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, let's talk about the new bike in your fam.
So Erica had been looking for a new bike because her bike is 120. She's never disliked her bike, but it's a Niner Jet RDO. Jet stands for just enough travel. And when
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh.
And so when we started, she's definitely more like her strength is like an endurance. Like she's an endurance athlete. She can run at a constant speed for like unlimited miles, and that's not my strength. Like
Loser.
So,
Just kidding, Erica.
Idiot. And
You're so good.
yeah, it's extremely frustrating. Like, and very competitive. So I'm like, her thing's going to be cross country mountain biking because that, and it still could be. But as we rode, the things that we enjoy doing were more enduro styled, downhill with the work. We enjoy the work aspect of riding mountain bikes, but we enjoy drops and jumps and going fast. So as that has progressed, she's like, well, my bike isn't designed for that. She's maxing out her shocks all the time. She's done like a 4 and 5 foot drop and wants to continue doing that. Likes the feeling of, hey, this is a big drop. It's scary. I'm still going to do it. I'm going to send it. So it's been fun as we progress together. So I want a bike that's designed for that. The problem with enduro bikes is Florida is not an enduro riding state. So where do we draw that line of like, hey, I want a 160 bike. However, the majority of our riding is not going to be in terrain that really requires that. And she said, kind of jealous that when I talk about my bike, I'm like, it's a perfect bike. I can go to Georgia and Tennessee and Virginia, and I'm really happy with how my bike has performed everywhere, to include the trails that we ride. So we're kind of trying to find that balance. And then my daughter, who has generally hated mountain biking, was convinced to go up, just like her, Grayson, my youngest son, and Erica went riding. And Erica and my daughter switched bikes. They're about the same height now. And Erica was like, her bike is terrible. I would hate mountain biking if I had to ride her bike. And my daughter all of a sudden got on that Niner and was like, I love mountain biking.
Yeah.
So I think, not that we got a new bike so my daughter can have Erica's old bike, but it did kind of seal the deal, like, hey, we have an opportunity to go more as a family if people are happy riding the bikes that they're on. So we're going, man, I forget what website we were at. No, it was the Pink Bike.
Pink Bike?
Yeah, Pink Bike. We would go on their buy sell, and someone was selling an Evil Offering, which is what I ride. It had a broken carbon frame, and it was repaired by a company out of Colorado. And we did some research. It was like one of 5 companies that is like trusted to rebuild a carbon frame mountain bike.
Yeah.
And it still had life on the warranty. Like we're still covered. The frame is still covered under warranty for that small little section of the frame. But because it was damaged and repaired, like it was an amazing deal.
Yeah.
So the components on the bike are worth more than what we paid for the bike.
Really?
Yeah.
That's nice.
So she's got Fox 36s. Yeah. Suspension. The SRAM X01 like drivetrain. So like essentially she upgraded everything that she was riding on by getting this bike. The only it's here at Adrenaline, getting tuned up. The front brake line had a small leak in it, so we got a new line, and so they're fixing that. And we were really happy with the performance of a mullet, 29 in the front, 27.5-inch tire on the back. So we're gonna mullet her bike because it was 29 and 29. So It's getting some work, it's getting some love, but like we turned it in Sunday to get worked on. Today's Wednesday. Fat Tire Festival is coming up this weekend, so people are getting their bikes ready. The shop is slammed. There's no way that they can get the bike ready. I told her that the bike wouldn't be ready by this weekend. In 2 days, she's like, make sure you ask if my bike is ready. I'm like, your bike isn't going to be ready. Like, they're getting ready for the biggest like mountain bike festival in Florida all year. Like your bike that was turned in 2 days ago is not going to be ready.
But
I asked, it's not ready.
Oh,
yeah, no, yeah, I'm sorry. No, there's like
you're building up to be like, but Adrenaline's amazing.
No, like there is a wall full of bikes that they're working on, and we just turned ours in on Sunday. So I will say
She hasn't ridden it, like on a trail.
no. So that's not on a trail. Like we went. That's why we're doing those neighborhood rides. Is she didn't have front brakes, and so we were just cruising around, and it's
You're
not
gonna ruin your tires on neighborhood trails.
Yeah. Well, we want to ride.
I did that.
Yeah. But very excited. I mean, I
Good.
love my bike.
I'm excited for it, too.
Yeah, I think she's gonna like it. I'm also excited that if my daughter gets on that bike and is like, "Hey, I want to go mountain biking with you," I get to go riding more. I mean, it comes down to I just want to ride more. This whole family job life thing is getting in the way.
Speaking of upgrading, and my bike, I guess my bike came with organic brake pads, and I want to switch those out because their stopping power is not the best. And the reason,
Not like organic. That's different than metallic.
yeah, I guess I don't know. I haven't really looked into the whole thing, but the reasoning they said behind it was because for people who don't generally ride e-bikes and get an e-bike, they want to make sure that they can stop safely instead of going 20-ish miles an hour and then grabbing brakes and just abruptly coming to a stop or flipping over. So the whole organic thing, I feel like it takes a long time for me to stop my bike if I really needed to. So that, and then the hub, I think I'm going to upgrade the hub next. We've talked about the spring in the past. I'll leave the spring the way it is before I upgrade it.
The suspension.
The coil, yeah. I'll leave that the way it is. I haven't really seen a huge problem with it. It is a little just squishy.
You haven't. I mean,
I haven't really tested it.
Yeah, you haven't really tested it. Yeah.
But the hub, I've noticed the hub because I'm used to a very high engagement hub, and I've noticed the hub like.
Is that different on a e-bike?
I believe so. Yeah, no, I think it's the same. I think it's a hub.
Okay, so
just a regular engagement hub. You can just pick a. I don't know if there's e-bike specific ones, but
you know what's crazy is we're in a bike shop and there's like super expert people that we could just ask.
Just talk to.
We just like, nah, we'll
Who's
guess.
Zach, come here, Zach. Zach, not Nick.
Zach, not Nick. That is how it is, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
He always confused me. I knew his name the whole time until you started coming up with this whole thing.
Yeah. Well, I called him the wrong thing one time, and it was very confusing for me since then.
Yeah, so just those little things. But
So I'm looking at, so we're getting Erica's bike a mullet, and I want to steal that mullet
yes,
to try it out.
I forgot we were going to talk about that.
Yeah. So your bike is a mullet.
Oh yeah.
And you're crediting a lot of that agility to that.
I don't know if it's just because it's something new or something I've always heard since looking into it, but I love the mullet.
So the mullet is like, you feel that has nothing to do with the fact that you can pedal and go faster.
No.
That's something totally different.
I noticed it's a whole different feeling. Both good and bad. And I'll say bad because I've noticed on one particular part of a trail I ride, every time I've hit it, I've smashed my front chain ring. So I believe that's because the back tire is a smaller tire, ultimately bringing it down a little bit, right? There's really no way to combat that other than an egregious frame change, right? So I believe that's because of that. That's the only bad thing about it, but I've generally...
You crash at all when you like hit the chainring, or you just kind of like...
No, I just pushed it
bumping
right over it, yeah.
Okay.
So it's nothing terrible. I should probably put a bash guard there to slide over things a little easier and not have to worry about ruining the
metal stuff. That metal thing that covers
metal or plastic or whatever they use, polymer.
Those aren't expensive, right?
I don't believe so.
No. Would it make it even worse? That
I'm sure it would make the clearance worse, but
you're protecting
either way,
bike,
every time I've done it, I've hit it and rid over it and kind of slid over it. So I mean, you're just putting another material there to slide over instead of your chain ring.
Your chain, yeah. How about pedal strikes? Any pedal strikes?
Yes, I've had a couple. to the point where I'm like, I don't normally do this. So maybe it's something I have to pay attention to more, or I've thought about shortening the cranks a little bit.
So my evil, I definitely feel like I get more pedal strikes than other bikes because it sits a little lower because they wanted to make a more downhill friendly bike. So it's almost like lower to the ground. You have a little bit more balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've thought about shortening the cranks, but it's also not something that's terrible right now.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens at other
I think
places.
you can get used to it, and especially with an e-bike, you just a quarter crank with a more like a higher engagement hub.
Right. Yep.
Then you don't even worry about a pedal strike.
Right. So yeah, ways to work around that, right? But what we're talking about, the mullet, the agility. In cornering, it's just fast. I've noticed it's just fast.
Like fast in, fast out. Like
Yep, it just keeps it keeps the speed better. I mean, it feels like, I don't know if it's because you're lower to it keeps you a little lower to the ground and you're able to just hold your corner more, and the bike just stays instead of kind of lifting. I don't know what it is exactly. I'm sure.
Are you tilting? Like you able to like tilt your bike more?
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm telling you, it's like, and all this could literally be because the bike just gives me more confidence. But I don't. It's obviously other things that come to play.
I think you'd forget that.
It's other things that come to play. So like the mullet, and it is easy. Like I can literally push my back tire, and I don't know. I've never done that before. But like if I'm going around a corner and I'm a berm and a dirt berm, a clay berm, and I'm going fast, and I'm starting to creep up to, I can literally push my tire out. It's crazy. I don't know what it is. It is just.
That's awesome.
It is fun.
Do you have anything bad to say about your, like, okay,
I mean,
pedal strike, sure, but
yeah, little things, but
everything you've said, like, is exciting.
Yeah, I'm over the moon about this bike.
Over the moon. Over the moon.
Um,
You're not over that first cup of beer, I'll tell you that much.
Because I've been talking this whole episode. 42 minutes, it's all been me. When are you going to step up, buddy?
Well, I'm halfway through the second beer, and it's not as good as my Three Daughters Florida Orange IPA, but
that's disappointing. My first beer was really good.
it's good. It's good. Don't get me wrong, but that Three Daughters is.
What is that taste I'm tasting?
That's beer. You're
beer.
used to drinking seltzer. Is your problem?
You're so funny. You're so funny. You drank seltzers right before we started drinking beer. Go ahead, tell them about that, Tally.
Yeah. Well, do you have the information on that? There is someone doing some hard ciders, and
this is gonna be a future. We're gonna maybe line it up in the future. I don't know.
Earle over here, and I'm looking at the camera right now. Literally was talking about drinking White Claws on the show a couple days ago. And someone comes up with a hard cider and is like, I don't do hard cider. I'm like, what's the difference between a hard cider and a seltzer? Name two differences.
I don't know.
Besides the name.
Yeah, seltzer water, dude. It's water. Good for you. So Ben from Dry, how do you say that second word? Route?
Dry rot.
Dry rot. How you spell rot?
It's different. I don't know.
Dry rot.
It's dry rot cider.
Cider. They're brewed in Gainesville, so they're pretty local, a little northern, but.
No, he said he brews them. I think that's the owner of the company.
Is that the brewer?
Do you brew hard cider, or do you just mix it?
I don't know. I feel like that's someone we can talk to about it. He wanted to be on the episode, but I don't think we were really ready for it.
We weren't. Yeah, we're talking about e-bikes, bro, not hard cider.
Yeah, dude.
Which
One
I don't
is
know.
Way more manly than the other. No, we'll line them up in the future. It'd be cool to make that connection.
Yeah. Also, he can tell us the difference between hard cider and seltzer, because I don't know.
For all you cider enthusiasts out there.
It was good. Give us a sample. We felt bad because he had 4 unopened cans. We weren't going to make him.
No, he cracked one and was like, here, try this. And he was like, you want me to open the other 4? I'm like, no, dude, you don't do that. We're done here.
I felt like we would have been rude. Be like, here, open up all these. Unless if he was like, here, take these, then that would have been something.
Yeah.
But that's not how samples work. Like, here's a sample 6-pack.
So what's our next ride?
I do feel like all the trails have stepped up their game lately.
There has been a lot of improvements to a lot of trails.
You even said Dora has reclayed a lot of the berms.
Fresh clay on a lot of berms.
That's so good to hear.
And they've extended some of the berms and kind of gotten rid of some of the bumps with it. Yeah, they've done a lot of work.
Really good to hear.
Yeah.
Alafai is blowing up on Instagram. Their trail crew have been, it seems like they've been doing constant work.
I watched a few guys post from Moonscape today, which got me really jealous. Like, I want to go back to Moonscape.
They opened that back up? I think Moonscape's been closed for a while. But they did work on roller coaster. They put in some more doubles. They did not complain, but they're like, hey, people are crossing the line. We're working in this area. It's closed, and people are like, they got bike tracks. So that kind of sucks because you got people doing a lot of work on a trail, and then someone comes in and was really kind of delaying the process. But I would say Alafai would be the next ride. However, we do have Fat Tire Festival in Santos. Unfortunately, it's like starting tomorrow. I'm working all day tomorrow, working all day Friday. Saturday, Eric and I have a friend getting married, and I don't think we've ever condoned marriage on this podcast because that's Saturday should be a riding day, not a marriage day.
Showers for the boys.
Yeah. And so I'm hoping to get out there Saturday morning before I'm hoping it's an evening wedding. I haven't looked at the invitation yet.
I would imagine.
It should be.
Saturday morning ride or wedding.
No one, yeah, but what if it's like 4 o'clock? I don't have time to go to Santos, come back, figure out what I'm going to wear, because obviously I'm not going to decide until right before. There's a good chance Eric and I will get in an argument about what to wear. So I have to factor in all that time. I don't have time to really go there. And if I'm super stoked to ride and that bike isn't ready for Erica, she's not going to be pissed. She's not going to be happy.
Yeah. What about night rides? Can we start doing night rides?
Yes. We need an illumination source for our bikes, which we don't
I thought
have.
you had one.
I got one from Walmart. And listen, Walmart, whatever family owns Walmart, does a lot of good things in Bentonville. So I'm not going to downplay Walmart, but the things they sell for bicycles are not going to be the highest quality. So you got a night ride in the neighborhood, the lights they sell are probably designed for that. But if you're going to go ride a real trail, I would want a light designed for mountain biking, and I don't have that.
And a helmet light too. A bike, a bar light, and a helmet light.
So I actually listened to you need a handlebar light and a helmet light minimum.
That's what I just said.
Well, the expert said that. I'm repeating the expert. You're just guessing that.
No.
You don't even know the difference between cider and seltzer.
Neither do you.
Yeah, but I'm repeating an expert, and you're just saying things.
Anyway, the experts and me say you need a bar light and a helmet light. What else?
That's it. I think that's it.
That's what I thought. We can find those here for sure. But I feel like your schedule, dude, your schedule is kind of restricting us a little bit to certain days. Yeah. Unless we want to do a night ride.
Yeah.
But also daylight savings coming back, so we're going to gain a little bit of light, I think.
Is this the last time daylight savings comes back?
I don't know, dude. I thought they stopped that a year ago, but apparently not.
I think this is the last time. It's going to switch back, and then it's just going to be it.
It's going to be stay there.
Time
is time all of a sudden. No one can change the time.
Thanks, Einstein.
Yeah. Silly. I think we should start doing some night rides. That'd be fun.
So I do know they do night rides. I just don't know much about it. So night rides. We can do night rides this year.
Also trip coming up.
Yep. Someone bailed.
Wah, wah, wah.
So we have that to deal with. And most people have paid, including the guy that is now bailed.
One still didn't pay?
One is still holding out.
For one or two?
So
'Cause he's got 2 people.
He's got 2 people, but I never factored in his +1 because
So he didn't pay for himself.
he didn't pay for
What a
himself.
dirtbag.
Yeah,
I know
and
he's
you know
not
who
gonna,
you are.
He's not going to listen to this
No,
because he's a
he's not.
dirtbag.
Yeah,
He doesn't
he's-
support us.
Not a surprise, and I bet you guys can guess who didn't pay. He was a instrumental figure in
Getting us all mountain biking.
getting us all mountain biking, not paying. So, still hope he shows up, maybe with like some cash in hand, maybe.
Yeah. I told you, dude. I told you.
I know.
Setting this up.
It's a
Getting
it's
your
kinda-
money back
it's
is a
kinda-
bitch.
It's kind of a pain. That's all right. All right. You got anything else? Any merch shout outs?
Oh, actually, yes. So, bought a new bike, needed new pedals. Right? Right.
Yes.
I came here. They fixed my rotor that day, and I had the plastic pedals that came with the bike, just
Trash.
for like setup. And I
I'm
was
surprised they even came with anything.
I know, yeah. I was like, well, I just need to grab new pedals, so I was like, hey, these are the ones I use for my old bike, the contacts. And they were like, oh, he's like, I recommend the upgrade, the Scarab.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, well, what's the difference? He goes, you can just move the pins around on these ones, right?
Or
It's the
wouldn't
same.
you just have them in all the time?
You can pick your location. I'm like, dude, I'm an average rider. Oh, he's like, these ones will be fine for you. So I just got a new pair of orange contacts. I don't care about pin placement on the pedals.
I thought you were going to be like, this is an upgrade for this, and I really feel a big difference.
Nope.
The story is like, nah, I'm average.
No,
like,
I don't need to place the pins in an area that they're going to hit my shins in a different spot, so it doesn't matter.
just let him hit my shin.
Save me $20.
Yeah, just equally scar up my shin.
That's so funny.
That's fantastic. So your
So
your product shout out has to do with the fact that you just settled.
yeah, I settled because they're so good.
They
I
are.
use them on my old bike and I use them on my new bike. That's it.
That's fair.
I'm so happy. Cro Mag contacts. I love those.
You've already given a shout out to Born Primitive. I did have a Liquid Death, the new one, Convicted Melon. Shout out to Liquid Death.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people who don't sponsor us, so we won't go into that list of people we.
Yeah, it's Liquid Death. Well, come on, Liquid Death.
Yeah.
Liquid. Dude, this new one's good.
It's good. The lime is so good.
So good.
Well, this one's good. And just mix it up.
The Publix I go to only has the regular water. They
Oh
don't.
no, I'm not gonna.
They don't have any of the, like. Please, I would love some lime in this new one, which is what is it called again? Convicted melon, right?
Yeah.
I tried it earlier. It was cool. It had a little cool saying on it too.
You wanna finish off with the Convicted Melon?
Yeah, listen
Reading?
up. Liquid Death, this is for you guys. This ruthless tallboy of flavored sparkling water has a twist plan to natural. Oh, I'm sorry.
Honestly, I read it earlier,
did it
and
too?
it was so hard to read. You can
This-
read it, but saying it's hard. Okay, sorry.
Starting now, go.
Okay.
This ruthless tallboy of flavored sparkling water has a twisted plan to use natural agave and exploding bubbles to murder your thirst and recycle your soul.
The recycle your soul part is
Yeah,
new.
I like
Yeah, I do. I'm a big fan of that.
Liquid Death, dude. Go and buy some. It's good stuff. For your health.
Only
For your health.
Yeah. If you have an excess of money and you want water, Liquid Death is your thing
For your health.
for your health. All right. That was episode 13.
13 in the
Episode
books.
13 in the books. Thanks for listening. Get out, ride, enjoy yourself.
See you out there.
See you.